Hey, what's up everybody, it's Charleston and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Y'all know Kawhi Leonard is my favorite player. I haven't hit my feelings about that, and we haven't done much Kawhi content this year because obviously he hasn't been injured, but nevertheless, Kawhi Leonard is my favorite player. However, I have a great deal of respect and admiration for Giannis Antetokounmpo because of his approach to his career. And I think Giannis is one of these guys that said to himself, he said, you know what? I'm going to come into the NBA and I'm going to make the most of this. There are only 450 jobs, if I'm not mistaken. 450 jobs. So if you're one of the guys that's fortunate enough to get selected, then you got to make the most of it, right? Because there's so many people out there clamoring for that position and you made it in there. So you have to make the most of it. And that is exactly what Giannis Antetokounmpo has done. He is easily, in my opinion, one of the hardest working players in NBA history, and I think he deserves every bit of praise that he gets. Some people say, one of the hardest. He is absolutely, and that's something I'm going to illustrate a little bit for a little bit later in the video. And yesterday, I was very happy to see another all-time NBA great in Dwayne Wade recognize all of the hard work that Giannis Antetokounmpo has put into his NBA game over the course of his career. I was watching a segment on NBA TNT, and they were covering the Lakers-Bucks game. You remember the Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks just played, and obviously the Milwaukee Bucks beat them. And Giannis Antetokounmpo had a 40-point double-double with no turnovers. And they were basically analyzing the game, and they were also analyzing the evolution of Giannis Antetokounmpo's basketball game. And Dwayne Wade gave some major insights into, how Giannis has been able to develop his game over his career. So before we go too far, I want to play some of the comments that Dwayne Wade had to make.
The thing that I've always appreciated listening to people like you talk about Giannis is he never settles. Who he was last year is not who he was this year. And I'm curious, you've mentored a lot of young players. I feel like you guys get more excited when you see Giannis's growth year over year.
Definitely. I mean, he was gifted with something. Right, off bat. We all seen it. Like Giannis' game, when he first got in the league, was straight downhill.
Creating the wall, all that stuff.
And you can't stop it.
Yeah.
Right? You can't. When Giannis goes coast to coast, he's unstoppable. But he didn't stop there. He continued to keep working on his game every year. Like, he doesn't show it. He doesn't put clips out on IG where you know what he's doing, but you see the work. And like, Candace and I were sitting back watching him, and I said, he scored every way tonight instead of a floppy. He scored every way that you can score in the game instead of a floppy. That is a player that the coach can put anywhere on that floor and put at any moment, at any time, and he can score the basketball.
Now, I think Dwayne Wade said some very interesting things. Here's the first thing he said. He said initially, it was clear to see that when Giannis came into the NBA, he had some gifts. And those gifts, he said, was he had this, freakish athleticism, and he had the ability to go coast to coast in a way that, very few have. If you think of Giannis, you think of probably LeBron James and a few others. Giannis is unstoppable when he's in an open court, right? Especially in the fast break. But he said he didn't stop there. He wasn't content with just that. He continued to develop his basketball game and his basketball skills. And if you actually look at Giannis Antetokounmpo's career trajectory, it's clear to see. If we go over Giannis's career growth, and which we're going to get into here, it's actually quite remarkable. His first year in the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo averaged 6.8 points per game, and he shot 41% from the field. That was as a rookie, right? His second year, he went to 13 points. He basically doubled his production, and his field goal shooting percentage jumped by 8 percentage points. He went from shooting 41% to 49%. That's a major jump. If you look at Ja Morant is also one of these NBA players that's really growing. If you go look at his numbers, Ja Morant has really been improving his NBA career. Then the next season he scored 17 points per game. The next season he scored 23 points per game. The following season he scored 23.9 points per game, 26.9 points per game. He was shooting 53% from the field. If you look at the growth from his rookie year, and in a span of 4 seasons, he had improved his field goal shooting percentage by 10 plus percentage points. That's incredible. That season, not only did he get you 26.9 points per game, he got you 10 rebounds, 4.8 assists, only 3 turnovers. The following season, he ticked it up to 27.7. The next season, he was 29.5. Listen to this, 29.5, shooting 55% from the field, getting you 12. What is it? It was getting you 13.6 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 3.7 turnovers, 1 steal, and 1 blocks per game. And the season before this one, he averaged 28 points per game. This year, he's averaging 29 points per game, shooting 54% from the field. He's a 30% three-point shooter, shooting 72% from the free throw line. When he came into the NBA, he was shooting 68%, getting you 11 rebounds, 6 assists, a game, and that's his highest assist per game that he's averaged over the course of his career. And in the last 4 years, Giannis has won 2 regular season MVPs, a Defensive Player of the Year, made multiple All-NBA teams, All-Star teams, and won an NBA championship and was the Finals MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been improving his basketball game. The evidence is there. In addition to that, if you go back and look at images of Giannis when he first came into the NBA, he was so skinny. I mean, he was like a pogo stick. He was so skinny. If you look at this guy now, he looks like a completely different person. And why is that? Because Giannis, over the course of his career, I think he came into the NBA, if I'm not mistaken, yes, in the 2013-2014 NBA season, this guy put on 50 pounds of muscle. 50 pounds of muscle. Now, for any of you guys out there watching this video that lift weights, I think there's some people like Marco, some people, it's quite difficult for them to put on muscle because they have such fast metabolisms. Giannis looks like one of those guys. For him to put on 50 pounds of muscle over the course of his career is very, 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 very hard to do. But that just shows his dedication to his body and understanding that, listen, for me to be able to dominate this game at a high level, I need to get stronger. And there's no question that Giannis is one of the strongest NBA players. If you look at the way he clears out, I mean, he was playing a game against the Lakers, and he was playing against Anthony Davis, who I think is one of the strongest players in the NBA. I mean, and he was just ragdolling him, to use a term that Skip Bayless uses. And to me, I think Dwayne Wade is absolutely right. Yeah, Giannis doesn't post anything about it. He seems like a very humble guy. Giannis doesn't look like one of these guys that's trying to click it up and all of this stuff. When he had an opportunity to probably go to Miami or go to, play with the Golden State Warriors, this guy decided, I want to stay in Milwaukee, right? I want to stay there. I'm perfectly content where I am. Let me win a championship here. He seems like a very simple guy that is all about his work. And that is something that I think is refreshing to some NBA fans. We'll read some of the comments. There's some people that love that. Now, there's some people that love flashy NBA players that are quite loud, always tweeting this, tweeting that. And then there are other people that just like simple people. They just blue collar players that go to work, do their thing, and just focus on their work, and that's it. And Giannis is one of those type of guys, and he appeals to a large group of NBA fans, not just in the United States, but globally. So to me, I think Giannis, if he continues to develop his basketball game, there's no telling where he could end up all time. There's just no telling where he can end up all time. He could definitely end up higher than Stephen Curry, that's for sure. He can definitely end up higher than Kevin Durant. Why? Because Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of these few guys that was able to win a championship without a super team. The Milwaukee Bucks were not a super team. They tried to hate on them after they won the championship. It was, well, they had a super team. Really? The Milwaukee Bucks had a super team? So we're going to play that game and act like they didn't have a super team. He's one of these guys that stayed in these small markets and just went out there and won. And people respect that more. These players that win these single championships in these small markets, people love that. And Giannis did that. And I think people, and that's why he said at the end of the press conference, he said, I did it the right way, essentially meaning I didn't join no super team. I did it the right way. And those type of championships mean a lot more to NBA fans and have a bigger impact on some NBA players' careers than championships that you're winning with 4 or 5 Hall of Famers. What do you think about the comments that Dwayne Wade had to make about Giannis Antetokounmpo? Number 2, what do you think about some of the things I had to say about him? And finally, if Giannis continues to win championships, if he wins 2 or 3 more championships, where do you think he ends up all time? Do you think he has a possibility to make it in the top 5 of all time? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, it's just Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.